Hi everyone, my name's Justin Odisho, and in this video I'm going to show you how to share full vertical video on your Instagram story by exporting it and customizing it in Adobe Premiere Pro. So let's open up a new sequence in Premiere Pro that's the proper size for vertical video. So in this project I'm going to go to File, New, Sequence, and Premiere has all these presets available for if you were using a Canon or a Red or specific things with specific different frame rates and resolutions, depending on what video footage you were shooting with. So something like digital SLR, 1080p, 24 frames per second might be a good starting point if that was what your clips were. However, in this case, let's just go to settings and let's choose the editing mode to be custom. We're just going to create our own that works well for the vertical video. Next, let's go to the frame size and let's make it 1080 horizontal by 1920 vertical. And you can see that gives us a 9:16 vertical portrait resolution. We're going to leave all the rest of these settings as they are by default. And if you want, you can save this specific preset that you made. So that way you could see it in your own custom preset folder and you can pick from it next time. So let's press OK and you'll see that it opens up a new sequence that is in vertical video shape. So now we can begin dragging and dropping whatever we need into there. So if you already had a full project edited out, you could simply take those clips or nested sequences or exported final products and drag them into this sequence. Now, whenever you drag anything that's not this exact size, it's going to say that these clips are mismatched. What do you want to do? So you could either keep the existing sequence settings, which is what we want to do, or it'll say, do you want to change it to match your clip, which is what we don't want to do. So keep the existing settings of the vertical video, and then it'll just place your other video within it without changing anything. So now you see there's going to be a bit of an issue because your video might be widescreen and this is vertical. So there's a few ways that you can go about deciding how you want to fix that. One, you could just go into the effects control panel. You could scale it up until there's no more black bars, and then you'll have a full vertical video. And if you want, you can move the X and Y position so that it captures the most interesting or important points. Alternatively, you could head over to the rotation, flip it 90 degrees, and then it'll just be flipped on its side for the viewer to turn their phone and watch in full screen, if that's what you wanted to do. And also you could just leave it as is with the black bars and use that space to decorate with text or insert other pictures or videos in there. So you could go to title, new title, default still, and then use that space to type out whatever you want and add whatever relevant information and text and colors and shapes that you want in that video. I do have tutorials all about that, but you see once you create your title, you can drag it over top and you can build out your own little custom layout, either straight in Premiere, or you could even bring in some elements from Photoshop and After Effects to spice it up. So once you've decided how you want to place and fit your video, in my case, I like just bringing the scale up because why not utilize the full vertical video format if we're going to do it properly. And if you want, you can even leave any text off. You could add the text and location features on Instagram with the Instagram tools that they give you. And you basically have your project now fit into this vertical frame so that we can export it and upload it. Now, something important to keep in mind is that each Instagram story only allows 15 seconds at a time clips. So either pick your most interesting 15 seconds, press O for the out point, go to the beginning of the 15 seconds, press I to create an endpoint, and then you have a little selection of a sequence that you can render. Or if you just export and upload the whole thing, it's just going to cut off and only use the first 15 seconds. So if you have multiple or a minute long of footage that you want to chop up, you're going to want to chop it up into 15 seconds at a time sequences and export and upload those. So let's go to File, Export, Media, and you can see I'm exporting this in and out sequence. So sequence, in, out, and it's 15 seconds long. And for the export settings, I'm just going to leave it at the default H.264 match source high bitrate preset. You might notice that at the bottom here, it'll say estimated file size is 18 or whatever megabytes that yours is estimated. So that's another thing to keep in mind if you feel like you don't have enough room on your phone's hard drive or whatever storage you're using. You can also switch the preset to be, instead of high bitrate, medium bitrate, and that'll significantly lower the file size as well so that you can export it and not take up as much room. I wouldn't worry too much about too much compression or if you're going to lose too much quality, because unless something is visibly off, you're using this as a promotional tool, and these Instagram stories are going to go away in 24 hours anyway. So you kind of want to get the job done. However, just make sure that things don't look terrible. They're not getting compressed too much. And all of these default preset settings will typically work perfectly fine for 95% of situations. So once you've done all that, you've chosen your output name, output location, you can export the clip. It'll export out to your desktop or whatever folder you chose it from. And the next thing is you have to figure out a certain way to transfer it to your phone. Now, since I'm using a MacBook, which is Apple, and an iPhone, there's a cool feature called AirDrop. If I have Bluetooth enabled on my phone, I can literally just drop the files directly through Bluetooth onto my phone. If you're using an Android or other device, I'm sure there's a way that you can plug your phone into your computer and transfer files that way, or upload the files onto some type of online service. You can then go over to create a new story. When you swipe up, you should be able to see the past 24 hours of things that have been taken or saved to your camera roll. So since you've just sent those videos and saved them to your camera roll, you can choose to upload them, and you get that full vertical quality Instagram story that you just customized and created in Premiere Pro. So if you guys enjoyed this video, then make sure you leave a like on it below. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, check me out at JustinOD. But get creative with it. There's really an endless amount of possibilities for you to really use it creatively, import some cool stuff from After Effects and text elements and all that. So feel free to check out my channel and subscribe for more info on that. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.